Hi everyone, it's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead new series coming soon. Got some information that we need to talk about with the Army. I know news has been out there for a couple of days, but we're going to dive into it a little bit in deeper detail. You guys know how we do. We like to talk about it live. We're going to talk about the potential schedule, a name, who could be in it before we get started. You guys can see it up on the screen. Thank you to my Patreon Army. You guys are phenomenal. Appreciate everything that you guys do. There's going to be some surveys coming within the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. And let's get to today's topic. You can see what we got up on the screen is a little bit of Judith Grimes and a little bit of Clementine. I know some of you, we brought up Clementine in the past. Many of you are familiar with the character. Some are like, who is this? It is a video game character, but it's a video game character that is larger than life. And I would argue one of the most popular characters in the Walking Dead universe. So I'm going to talk about Clem's character a little bit, how she possibly could be portrayed, maybe not by same name, but how this could work in the whole Walking Dead universe. Look, I got my fingers crossed. I think we've been hoping that maybe Clementine be introduced in the core franchise, The Walking Dead, but Judith is kind of stepping up into a role, maybe Fear the Walking Dead. We still have not seen that as well, but there's still hope for something coming on in Virginia. So, first and foremost, how many people are pretty hyped up about a third Walking Dead TV series? So, I am super, super excited because this pretty much, I don't know there's going to be a whole lot of downtime. So, there are some, this is the way I think it could work out because they're filming during the summer. Apparently, it's going to be 10 episodes. This is what we know at this point. Don't know the name. But let's think about the time frame for a little bit. Walking Dead usually starts first, second week of October. And then it goes until about December, middle of December. And then we've got this downtime from December until February. About 10 to 12 weeks, right? So 10 episodes to me looks like it would fit in over the holidays, early January, February. And then The Walking Dead kicks back off around Valentine's Day and then runs through till April. Now, in typical fashion, there's not a Game of Thrones that's up there. So Fear the Walking Dead takes off in April. And then you got Fear the Walking Dead, and then you got a little bit of a break, and then Fear the Walking Dead in the second half of the summer. So, if this, it's right, Darkstar, my Christmas miracle. Steph, I did not see a super chat. I think they're only up there for a limited amount of time. So, if you put it up before I came into the chat, I think they only stay up there for like 4 or 5 minutes. So, I'll go back and see if I can historically check it out. But it's not up on my screen right now. So that to me looks like we only have about a month or so of downtime. So what could possibly fill the summer months, which might be, late June, early July? What could take up our time to make sure that we have no lapses of The Walking Dead at all, ever? Yep, you guessed it. Walking Dead movies. Robin Vance is like vacation. No, Robin. Scott Gimple wants to keep us occupied 52 weeks out of a year. So think about that. That means we got a lot of stuff to get into. We got a lot of fun. Predictions, theories, recaps, countdowns, you name it, we're going to do it. We got movies and 3 Walking Dead series. Now, I'm pretty excited about this storyline, as you can probably tell. Walking Dead forever. And you know what? Before we get to the storyline, this is something that is very, very... it's at the core of my existence. I won't rant, but how many of you have tuned in for one of my ratings rants. I mean, just one. Like, you've heard me talk about it, and I've done more than one. But at the end of a season or mid-season finale, when some asshat writer from Forbes or TV Guide, those are the two worst. Forbes and TV Guide are the two worst. And Walking Dead got 0.0001% less viewers in their finale than they got last year. 20,000 less people watched, whatever the case may be. So, did anybody see Angela Kang's reaction to the lower ratings chatter that's out there? If you didn't, I'm going to bring it up. We got Graylin28 wanted to thank Steph. I finally got my package, and I love it. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Well, thank you, Graylin, and definitely thank you, Steph, for Steph has put together some fan packages that she sent out to several people throughout the last couple weeks, and definitely thank her for that. Zelda's like, we don't care about no stinking ratings. So, it appears that not everybody saw her reaction. But do me a favor, because I'm going to tell you what her reaction was, but I need my green team. Let's put the Angela Kang emojis up there. Because I am starting to respect her more and more by the week. There we go. Okay. So, once again, there was some ratings chatter out there. And this is probably the most intelligent response I've ever heard. Angela Kang said, all cable television series, have lost viewers. We've lost par for the course, the same amount, the same percentages, no big deal. We just had further to fall than other people, but we still are the number one show by a 2-to-1 margin. Now let me let that sink in for a little bit. What that basically means is, and I'm not going to make this a ratings rant, The Walking Dead is still the most successful TV series. So if you think The Walking Dead is going away, that means every other show that has lower viewership than The Walking Dead is not going to be on television any longer. So even though people bootleg it, even though they don't chart all the views, they still have such a huge following. But why is it that everybody else doesn't talk about every other show on that gets half the viewers of The Walking Dead? How come people aren't talking about Badlands? Oh, Badlands. They're not going to last another season. Or, I don't know, the one about the boats and all the other stuff. You know what I'm talking about. I don't watch a lot of cable television shows. But this is still the most successful one. So clearly, they're coming up with a third series. So they're not destitute. They're not out there looking for money. They're not begging. I think they're going to be okay. Steph is, Super Chat was wishing Kimberly a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kimberly. And if it showed up on the Facebook fan page, I do have to tell you, I've been a little away from social media for the last day. I won't get too far into it because I don't want to incite a whole bunch of drama, but it had something to do with some asshat wanting to copyright my logo. Are you kidding me? Sorry. I might as well share it with you guys. But, sorry, it got me a little bit fired up. And it was just the wrong place at the wrong time. Needless to say, yes, that person is no longer a part of our community. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to get everybody worked up. Not going to go through any names because I know how the Army, you guys have my back. And when you have a microphone, I'm not trying to cause any ill will. I'm just going to say it was the most lame thing. They wanted to copyright my logo, my name, and a Walking Dead logo all in one piece of artwork. And I'm seriously. Okay. Let's move on. I got people sitting there like, who? I didn't say it was a he. Did I? Anyway, you get it. And Julia, that's why I didn't bring the group into it, because it made me mad too. Like really, really mad. So, yeah, I just had to get away from social media a little bit. Clear the air. Bennett family says, I just got off work and missed the whole stream. No, we've only been streaming for 11 minutes. You haven't missed anything yet. Crystal, you can't do that. That was the point. All right. Like when there's a little bit of drama, the funny thing is, all of a sudden nobody wants to. They want to talk about the drama. It's like, let's talk about this. No, we're not. I just wanted to get you guys in the loop of what was going on. I have real YouTube problems sometimes. Life is not all a whole bunch of Walking Dead streams and happy circumstances. Sometimes there's a little bit of negative in my world. Fluff Salisbury, thank you, Fluff. I appreciate that. I'm not going to read it, but I certainly appreciate your support. All right, back to the new series and where we were kind of steering the ship to. So we've laid out when potentially the show could happen. And for how many people, just the people that don't know who Clementine is, just a quick, just type something quick in chat. The people that know, you guys are fine. I know probably 3/4 of the audience. And I'll get to that because we got Daryl Stoltz super chat and says the TV rating system is antiquated and obsolete because they only count cable and satellite providers watching the shows when they air. More people are using streaming services and DVR to watch the show later, which aren't counted. And I do agree. And I would say, and this isn't an exact survey of ratings, but I would say there's more clips, teasers, trailers, YouTube personalities talking about it. Walking Dead is still one of the few television shows that has its own talk show, Talking Dead. Not many people do that. And advertising revenue must be really good because there's a lot of commercials. So many people are coming out. I know very little about her. Maria Favada says, is Judith a TV version of Clementine? Not really. But a TV version, first of all, if they come out with this new series and one of the two females is named Clementine, the crowd is going to go wild. It's going to be like bigger than Morales coming back. Bigger than if Rick would have lost his arm. Bigger. This would be one of the biggest things in the history of Walking Dead because of the name recognition. So I'm just going to ask you guys, how many people think they should just do it? Just look. Just sell out. Well, and it wouldn't even be a sellout because they own the rights to it. It's in the Walking Dead universe. Robert Kirkman owns the rights to it. Very easily could they make this transition. Why not just do it? to get the fans like super hyped. Don't even name her Carrie or Darla or Debbie or Denise. Just name her Clem, just so we know exactly who it is, and just have the ball cap. Perfect. Would be perfect. That way we're tied to it, and you really, truly get a Walking Dead legend on the TV show. Just that type of character would certainly create a fan base. Instead of making us sort of guess around and say, hey, that could be, because now look what we're asking. Is Judith Clementine? Okay, could Charlie be Clementine? No, Charlie can't be. Charlie cannot be. Charlie killed Nick. Clementine never killed Nick. In fact, Clementine couldn't even kill Lee. Even though she should have. So Maria Clementine has been in 4 different Walking Dead video games. So in season 1, she's about 8. In the season 2, she's about 11. In A New Frontier, she's about 13. And in the final season, she's 16 to 17. So they could certainly have someone 17, 18, 19 and get an actress to play that role. And then you wouldn't have to worry about, hey, okay, she's 10 and then, she's getting too old for the part. You could have a young female play the role and be perfect for it. Dead on Leprechaun says, hey, Kills, Mods, Pats, members, and Army. Thank you, Dead On, and thank you for being here. So John says, what city is the video game set in? It's set in Atlanta, is where it starts. Now, they make their ways through some different areas, like through some backwoods, and they get some snow. They actually got some snow before the TV show got some snow. Wilson says, mushy smushies to Kimberly. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Kimberly. Wow, Kimberly's getting a lot of birthday shout-outs. Right, Crystal? They certainly could make it work. And I don't know that you necessarily have to have Lee. I don't know that you necessarily have to have Kenny. You could. But I don't... Look, we've already got a guideline for the TV show, and that's the comic. Fear the Walking Dead, no guide. I would be perfect. I'd be fine either way. And I'm going to ask this because I know this would be a big question. Those of you familiar with the video game, do you think it is a necessary, if you had Clem, that you'd have to have a Kenny or have to have a Lee, or just, let's just take what we can get? I don't think I need Lee and Kenny. I think I'd be fine with just Clem. You know what, Matt? Yeah, you got a point. Kenny did kind of he did have a little bit of Shane, right? And what's funny is that Glenn was also in the video game. But they could certainly go off in whatever direction they want to. There doesn't have to be a connection. All right, just getting a couple comments caught up in here. Now, I'm not going to be disappointed if it's not, I won't be destroyed if it's not Clementine. I just think it would be, Angela Kang would go to legendary status. And you know what? Even Gimple would get some creativity points in my mind. You know what? People wanted a movie. Now we got Rick Grimes in a Walking Dead movie. People wanted Clementine, and we got Clementine has her own TV series. I think it would be phenomenal. And I agree, they should just give us this. Just give us this small ask back. As fans, it's what we want. No. Maria, the game and the comic book does not correlate. The game is in the Walking Dead universe, but it has really nothing to do with the comic. Clementine wasn't in the comic. Neither was Lee. So I want to throw this out there. Just speculation at this point. Anybody heard any name rumors for the new series? The game starts out in Atlanta. Wilson, in fact, Clem is not even the protagonist in the first one. Lee Everett is. So Lee's in the back of a police car, and he's being transported. He was arrested. Car wrecks. He escapes, and then he runs into Clementine, and sort of becomes her parents. They were on a trip. She was stranded by herself. They were supposed to be back, so Lee sort of has to take over the father role. Yes, John, the show is going to be filmed in Virginia. So Daryl says, do you think the third spinoff series will be another prequel? It's a little, the description is a little bit vague. So here's what it says. And you could take this a couple different ways. Hold on one second. And I'll read all that we really know about it at this point. It tells the story of two young female protagonists. So young, could be what? 12, 16, 19, 20. Telling the story of the first generation after the fall of civilization. So you guys tell me what you think that means. Gamma wants to say hi, Kills, and 999 Army. He's list. I feel like I'm missing something there, Sheila. Right? So Dad's like, I like it already. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like the great start to a show. I mean, hey, we're going to tune in to see two badass females, protagonists, rocking the show. I mean, we don't know. I mean, they're not going to be children going around without, being able to shoot, fire, do all those things on their own. So, I mean, if you got a personality like Clem or you have a personality like Judith Grimes, I think we'll gravitate to it. I think they know, based on the success of the video game, how much we like Clem, and based on how quickly we can get attached to Judith Grimes, that you got something that's going to work here. See, Crystal, and that's a good question. I don't really know what the first generation after the fall of civilization means, because there's a couple ways to interpret it. Is it the same time? Is civilization considered falling about the time of Dr. Jenner? Or is it after all of these people, after Daryl and Alpha and all of them are dead? I mean, that's a little confusing to me. I mean, has civilization lived 20, 30 years in the zombie apocalypse so far? Because if they have, that means oh man, I got bad news for you guys. They're only about 8, 9 years in. So if this means it's after the fall of civilization, the first generation, could that mean that Daryl's dead? Rick's dead? Could that mean like all the stars have already gone and we're watching in the future? I know. Now we get the responses. Imagine watching a TV show where Daryl and Michonne and Eugene and all of them are already dead, and this is the next generation. Ray's like looking for some silver lining there. It's like, no, they might be older. Could be old man Daryl. This is great. You guys will find a way. Drama King, didn't you say one time, I'm not sure if it's a super chat, but wasn't it you that once said, Daryl is immune because of the amount of dirt he's accumulated over the years, and he has like a whole layer of dirt that he cannot be infected? I think that was Drama that said that some time ago. Wilson, does that rule out other crossovers? Maybe not Charlie or those dirty kids that they're going to pick up in Fear, Wilson. I mean, there's just not a whole lot of them. Baby Herschel. But here's the thing. It's not going to be about Baby Herschel, though, because it's two females. I mean, yeah, he could get a side role. Fluff, which Lentz family member is going to star in it? The Walking Dead cast members seem to like that family. Not Henry. I can say with exact confidence, not Henry. Yeah, he must have gotten a corner for that comment. Well, there's one if it is Judas generation, there is one burning question that we would find out probably in the first couple. Part of the reason to tune in would be this. So what question would perhaps be answered in the first few episodes of a brand new series that has to do with Judas generation? And you guys know, because we've been talking about this for a while. So maybe that's part of the reason they want to do it, is maybe they want to send a message and say, no, it doesn't matter when you're born, who you're born to, you're not immune. Or we would find out early on if they're immune, right? I don't know. I don't think I would enjoy necessarily watching a show about a generation that's immune, though. As much as I like the concept and as much as I've said it's a real possibility, it would almost be like watching Mad Max, wouldn't it? You don't really care about the walkers anymore unless they completely devour you. They'd have to like completely eat you. But it would be more about people against people. And I don't know that I want to tune in every week and see Mad Max. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't know I need to go down that road again. Thank you, Beth Brigette. Appreciate that super chat. And we also got William, The Walking Dead Billboard, super chatting it. Fear, the past. The Walking Dead, the present. And the new show, the future. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, William, I think I would more define it like this, though. Fear, the present, Walking Dead, the future, and the new show, if it comes down that way, the extreme future. I don't know if Fear is the past any longer. I think Fear is probably meant to be the more current. Um, the Iron Prince. How old are Yumiko and Magna? Could be them. I don't think I would consider Yumiko a young female. Based on that, I got the feeling it was going to be late teens, early 20s. But the name will definitely, give us an idea. I'll check something out. Because I don't think that they're going to be able to. Anybody right off the top of your head know Eleanor Matsura's age? I ain't trying to put her on the spot. But anybody think she might be early 30s? Yeah, Eleanor Matsura is 35. I don't think she's playing. Yeah, 35. She's not playing young female. Yeah, she's 35. I just looked it up. And I think she's probably meant to be about that on the show. Maybe, maybe a little younger. Reese said, embrace The Walking Dead. We already embrace it. It's, I can't even venture a guess at this point. I mean, even Fear the Walking Dead, it kind of, it sounds okay now because we've said it for 5 years. I mean, who am I to second guess their name? I don't love the name Fear the Walking Dead either. After a while, you kind of, I guess you get used to it. And then we just call it Fear, right? We don't even go through the whole process. So I get a feeling, maybe they'll do something similar. And it'll just be something narrowed down to like one name. So if it were something like Embrace the Walking Dead, I just don't see me walk around saying, hey, you guys going to watch Embrace tonight? I'm not trying to, dog out your creativity or your name. I just don't see it as a... Yeah, it's got to be something unique from The Walking Dead. If you got like this third generation of The Walking Dead, or something like that, you're not going to be able to say it. I would love to see Clementine talk to Daryl. Surviving. Okay, I do like that. Survive the Walking Dead. 2 people kind of typed that. Maybe somebody else typed it too. Anita and John. Survive the Walking Dead. But even that, if you say it, it's like, it sounds like you can watch Survivor. You can watch Survive the Walking Dead? Yeah. It's tough. That's why I said we could struggle with that one a little bit. So we will do this, and we'll do it in a future stream because as more news comes out, we're going to be very excited about it. The problem that I felt that Fear had compared to The Walking Dead, and they finally did embrace it, is how many creative things can you do on a Walking Dead television show? You got Walker tornadoes, you got snow, you've got evil people, you got people that eat other people, you got people that stay in stadiums while other people cook hot dogs. So now you're going to have a third series. Third series. And when you get that, there is a group of people, they always do, that they're going to complain. And they're going to say, well, they've already done that. We've seen that. Well, of course. Because there's only so many things that you can do on a dead television show. Even some of the stuff they do on the television show has already been done in movies. But we know the biting, the infecting, those things are kind of core for The Walking Dead. But if they set it in the future, I mean, here's the problem. Wasn't it the last Wolverine where Wolverine died or something? I'm not a big Wolverine fan. X-Men people out there, correct me if I'm wrong. Logan, okay. I don't know about you. This is just me. This is my personal taste. Prequels, and if you disagree, say you disagree. But prequels and then movies that come out where I know that the person's eventually going to die, to me it loses some of its luster. So if I watch Logan and Logan's set in the future and he's dead, then when I watch another movie that happened before that where he's still alive, it doesn't quite do the same thing for me. Maybe I'm unique in that regard, but I'm just not big on prequels. So with that being said, the one thing that is very, very interesting with this is that even though it doesn't seem like a time restraint, we could actually be seeing the first signs of the end of The Walking Dead. This is what I mean by that. So let's say it's Judas' generation, and it's 10 years from now, or something along those lines, and you don't see these other people around. Then now we got our core television show that we love so much, and I'm thinking like, wait a minute, they can't skip time too much, so they're limited as far as how much they'd be able to skip time. And it would almost be like a ticking time bomb. Like, wait a minute, there's only going to be 5 more seasons, or 4 more seasons, or 6 more seasons. But it's something that is going to show an ending to it if there aren't some possible hints in the current version, if it is in fact the future. I'm not trying to confuse everybody, but does that make a little bit of sense? That now we might actually know that The Walking Dead is only going to... And I think we know this anyway, don't we? I mean, I don't think... Actually, it's not I don't think. Norman Reedus is not going to be doing The Walking Dead for 10 more years. Let's all wrap our heads around that, okay? It ain't going to happen. As much, I hate to say it, as much as many of you love Norman Reedus, in 10 years, he's not going to be as appealing as he is to you for whatever reason he is right now. No, he won't. It's not going to happen. He's going to change. There's a lot about him that's going to change. And in 10 years, you can probably add another 3 or 4 years. So add about 14 years total. I mean, we could probably If the show wasn't about Clementine, or the show wasn't a new series and it was about the people from the main Walking Dead and it was way, way in the future, I guess we could call it The Crawling Dead? Maybe, no, okay. You understand what I'm trying to say, though. Crystal the Singer Chick says, be careful, Kills. Mick Jagger is still performing. And I get the context of it. But, Crystal, I would challenge you to watch a Mick Jagger video from 30 years ago, or a Steven Tyler video from 30 years ago, or an Axl Rose video from 30 years ago, and compare it, even in the slightest degree, to what they might be doing right now. No comparison. We got William the Walking Dead Billboard says, enter the Walking Dead. Yeah, the Axel got a few giggles, right? Make zombies forget. So, can they make Daryl look young in 10 years? It's not Marcia and group. It's not whether or not they can make him look young. It's 10 more years of Daryl Dixon, 10 more years of story, 10 more years of X-Scars, 10 more years of looking for Rick. It's not that I don't think the actor can play the part. It's I don't think the character is going to age well. I really don't. I don't think that there's just going to be that group, that fan, that drive that continues to flock to that character. That's just my thought. And I think $20 of Walking Dead, we need to think this through a little bit. I have a lot of love for the characters on The Walking Dead. I'm going to give my interest and my tolerance for the core franchise 5 seasons, maybe 6 seasons max. And I'm not saying that to sound sad or to say that I want this thing to change. Anna, this is not NCIS. This is undead people trying to eat you. And resources dwindling. No food, no water, a higher population of undead. Daryl getting slower, his eyesight getting worse, running out of arrows. All of those things have to be taken into consideration. But here's something that you can do. Anybody down for 10 more years of John Dory? Anybody down for 10 more years of Alicia? 10 more years of Judith Grimes? So, how about 10 more years of Magna? Is there anybody that can handle that? So I'm sure if we all look hard enough, we can find characters that we can relate to or that we can have some interest in their story. So I can see exactly what The Walking Dead is doing. The story is phenomenal. The fan base is great. Hey, if I got to choose between all these Walking Dead things, I love the core show. I don't want the core show to go anywhere. And I would love for them to find a compelling storyline for 10 years. But to me, it looks like if they're potentially filming something in the future, they have an exit strategy. And I think that exit strategy could be 15 years. I think 5 years would be phenomenal. If The Walking Dead made it 5 more years and hit 15 years and you had a couple other spinoffs, and who knows what else they could do. Fans' tastes are going to change as well. And then you got the movie. I think if the Walking Dead franchise makes it another 10 years, we would all be extremely lucky. Other characters could come in and take over. I mean, we may still be here talking about it in 10 years. I might not have a voice in 10 years. But if I do, the Army will be here and we will talk about the show. But I'm very curious to see how it kind of evolves. And we've been doing this pretty hardcore, I think, for 3 years. Charm says, like how the first 4 seasons of Fear had no connection to Walking Dead, I think the new series have no connection as well until the 4th or 5th season when teenage Judith shows up on the scene. I think it'd be phenomenal. I'm not Jason. I'm not trying to make anybody sad. I'm just trying to do some things with time. But the bigger point that I really wanted to make is not only would it give them some time constraints, but it would also limit their ability to time skip as well. I do have to tell you, this last round of time skips from season 8 to the end of 9, where everybody got about 7 years older, they all aged really well. That's magical. William, the Walking Dead billboard, if you don't have a voice, then you need to be here typing in chat. William, as long as there's Walking Dead, there will be 999 Gaming and a 999 Army. So don't worry about that. We will be here. Clara Sorrell says a Negan prequel. Clara, I would watch it. I don't love prequels. I can deal with a flashback. And it would be, it'd be something I would be committed to because it's The Walking Dead. it wouldn't be like my favorite thing. I don't think I'd leave it saying, wow, a Negan series, a prequel about that. I'm so interested in it. Because I already know how it ends up. If it was 3 episodes of something, the Negan story, yeah, I'd be more interested. But if you start talking about, I want to go back and see when he was wearing those tight shorts like John Travolta in Grease, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I don't want to see Negan as a gym teacher looking like Danny Zuko. I think that was his name. Sheila Mack, Lisa Khaleesi says, hi. 999, her phone is broken. We need to get her on a computer, Sheila. Bamber Kitty, in 10 years, we live stream in virtual Alexandria. That's probably true. Drama, I mean, the thing about that is, with Summer Lovin', it just happens so fast. And I think, with Summer Lovin', I had me a blast. I met a girl crazy for me. I met a boy cute as can be. There you go. That's for you, Drama. You guys knew it was only a matter of time. Wilson! Lickfields and Lollards to Walking Dead nerds and Lisa Khaleesi. See what you started? Drama, that's for you and Chris Reinig. Like, you can start that song. And see, everybody, you start that song and everybody will just get into it. I know you guys have karaoke'd it before. Hey, there'll be more on that in Freestyle Friday, I'm sure. That's going to be our departing thought. So the rest of the night, your job is really to. I'm almost convinced somebody's going to go watch Grease, like before tomorrow's stream. And a one, thank you for that super chat, man. Appreciate it. Robin Vance says, my son is moving to Alexandria in a couple weeks. So I will say, I've been through Alexandria many times, and I've never seen an area in Alexandria that looks anything like the Alexandria on The Walking Dead. Not even close. So I'm wondering what year all of that happened, but yeah, Alexandria is the suburbs of D.C. Very nice, very nice. Although, if you and Robin, if you visit that area, go to Chart House. It's absolutely amazing, and it's got this wonderful view of the Potomac. So yeah, check that out. Oh, really? Bennett family, don't quit your day job, but this is my day job. It's kind of what I do, Bennett. Daryl Stoltz, hey Kills, do you think Walker and Crazy Dog will return to Fear the Walking Dead or cross over to third series of The Walking Dead? Um, hey, Daniel's back. Maybe that could think they could kind of transform into that villain that we've been waiting on for a long time. Yeah, he was. I got that, Dark Star. Killing the Walking Dead. That wouldn't be bad. Killing the Walking Dead. That actually has a nice little ring to it. Okay, someone tell me. Season 3, I think, was when I kind of lost my interest in Fear. We were talking about it and we were streaming it, and you guys know it was the one about the water and the dam episode. I think that's the last. We tried to do Fear in season 3. And it was okay. I mean, we had some people talking about it, and we got to a point where, honestly, we just kept picking it apart because everything just kept happening like, no, there's no way. And I get it. It's a zombie show, but everything was just too coincidental. And then we got to that one episode about the dam, and it was just an hour of nothing but running around in circles, and nothing got accomplished in that episode. And after that stream, it was so bad that we stopped. We just were like, okay, we'll watch it, but we're not doing any more reaction streams because people were just complaining about it. And then when we saw the preview for season 4 and the new characters coming out and the Morgan crossover, let's give it one more shot. And I'm glad we did. I really loved what they did last year. New showrunners, a new story, an element of comedy to it. I think they did a great job. Legacy of The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's another possibility. And we are Proctor John. I guess he's still out there too, right? Well, if Morgan's your favorite character, you must be really happy with Fear. So, hey, everybody, we're at 57 minutes. So, wow, this kind of ran on. There's a lot of hype and a lot of interest around this new series. So I know we started out talking about Clem and some potential people they could move into it, and you guys know how our streams go. First of all, if you guys are new, and there are a few new people in here, hit the like button, and this is what we do. I mean, we'll pick a topic, and then we're going to go in, and it's a very casual, comfortable talk show. So you steer a lot of the conversation. And I really, I want to get as many of your comments in here as possible. Drama King says, I think Dwight will be villain or villain group. Drama, I'm not opposed to Dwight being a villain. I would prefer him not, because I would prefer them come up with a really, really bad villain. And we already know Dwight. We've seen kind of that henchman, carry out what Negan does, persecuted type of thing. Then we've seen he really does have kind of a good heart. He wants to help out. So, I don't know. I don't. It might take a little bit for me to get used to. He certainly has reasons to hate people. He has, and especially if Sherry died. I could see him kind of hating the world and turning on people. But I would rather come up with another villain and just add Dwight to the mix of good people. I would rather see that, but I could get used to it either way. All right, so that is a great segue, because I think tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit of Fear. I know we still got a couple months to go, 6 weeks to go, whatever, we'll get there. But tomorrow we're going to do a little bit more Fear speculation, and I'm sure there'll be some Walking Dead content in there as well. So we can't really at this point talk about one without the other. Thank you, Julia. Appreciate that. But I get a lot of offers for extra wine. But those of you that know me and know stream, I don't drink and stream. That does not make for a good combination. I have a hard enough time doing this anyway. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much. We just hit 1 hour. Absolutely, Tom. If you guys could all hit the like button. Those of you in green, just show a little bit of support for the mods, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells. So let me give a shout out to all the patrons. Patrons in top left-hand corner to support our channel through a third-party website. Absolutely incredible. We have a lot of great support here. They're also my partners with surveys, new ideas that we'll run through, additional information. If you guys are interested in becoming a patron, there's a link down below. Channel members, top right-hand corner, there in green, custom emojis. As I said, my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, all the super chatters. I had a lot of super chatters tonight. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you getting your comments included in this video. And let me do some shout-outs to everybody else that's still here. And if you guys are watching the playback, make sure you leave comments as well. So everybody quickly give me a quick 999, and we will give some shout-outs, and I will see everybody at 9 o'clock tomorrow to get a little bit of fear topic in there, and, of course, a little bit more Walking Dead. Alan Arthur, thank you so much. Ollie Smith, thanks for being here. Thank you, Julia Drums, Angel Caloris, Ando1, Valar, Viola McGowan, Jennifer Flaherty, Bennett family, Jason Rayner, thank you, Jason. Matt Burkett, Crystal Singer Chick, Roxanne Dunlap, Joe Aiden, Flutter Bear, thank you. Tammy Hill, Angie Homan, Daryl Stoltz, thank you. A lot of nines there. Wilson, appreciate it. Northside Queen. My voice will always be here unless I get laryngitis or something happens. Robin Vance, thank you. Walani, thank you. Will Sykes. Bamber Kitty. Those of you who've been here for a long time, you guys will remember. I don't, because I've done so many streams, probably several thousand. I think I did stream one time with the flu a long time ago. It might have been like a shorter stream. I don't even know if I got through it. I think my eyes were like watery the whole time. Somebody will remember it. Donnie Thompson, thank you. Thank you so much, Anita. That's a nice shout out for my 3Gs. Kimberly M., thank you. William the Walking Dead Billboard, appreciate it. Dazzy. Maria Favada. Sheila Mack, thank you. Newfield 12, thank you. Wilson, always a pleasure. That's a good point, Melissa Conrad. What are the walkers going to look like? Well, if people keep dying off, there's always a new slate of walkers, right? The longer humans live, then there's always going to be, I hate to use the word fresh walkers, but mostly fresh. Thank you, Andrew McSherry. Appreciate that. Off the Record 2.0. Thank you. Dark Star, thank you. Have a good night. Jennifer Flair says, Kills, tell Gabe I'm a big fan. Especially the patrons, have seen several pictures of the 3Gs, and I'll put some on the Facebook fan page as well. But they are very, very distinct personalities. And those of you that have been around for a while, I just do want to say, Monday would have been Morris's 6-year birthday. That's my co-pilot. Love that little guy. I'm always never going to forget my little buddy. But the 3Gs, they're pretty special too. And Gabe is the, if I had to equivocate them, Gabe is like Rob Gronkowski. He's I don't want to use the word dumb because a free spirit, that's Gabe. Gabe will jump into a bag before he knows what's in the bag. He's like the engine. That's funny, Kel. No. But if you could put human personalities with them, they definitely have some characteristics. Gabby is a little shy and likes to be chased, but she'll give up. Like, she'll let you, chase me, and then, okay, finally give up, and then adorable. A little chunky. She's a little on the thick side. And I do play, not going to lie, her theme song is all about that bass. So sometimes when I'm chasing her, I do play all about that bass because she's got a little swag to her. And Grayson is kind of in the middle. Grayson's going to be a big, big boy. They're only 8 months old, and Grayson will jump about 7 to 8 feet off the ground and do a full flip. Never seen anything like it. Like, he just jumps up and does a complete flip that high off the ground. But he's like a gentle giant. So Grayson's kind of the one with the temperament that's right in the middle. But yeah, there's something else. All right, everybody. So that's a little extra. You guys, several people have been asking me about the 3Gs, and they're amazing. So they definitely are a handful. But I'm sure there'll be more pictures and more to come on that. You guys have a great night. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody here tomorrow night at 9 o'clock to talk a little bit of fear and a little bit of The Walking Dead as well. And don't forget, Friday is Freestyle Friday. So I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.